The movie kicks off with Pippa embarking on a new chapter in her life, moving into a shared house in Montreal with her boyfriend, Thomas. The prospect of living together fills them both with joy and anticipation. One night, while enjoying a drink, they notice the fully visible apartment across their window. The couple inside becomes the unintended focal point of Pippa and Thomas's attention. As the neighbors passionately kiss and scrutinize Pippa and Thomas, the latter dismisses any concerns about privacy, claiming they are fully aware of being observed. However, Pippa, uncomfortable with the scrutiny, urges Thomas to respect their neighbor's privacy. Despite initial reluctance, Thomas acquiesces, acknowledging the uniqueness of each window revealing different lives. In an attempt to kindle intimacy, Pippa dresses up in an alluring nightgown, hoping to engage in their first intimate moment in the new home. To her dismay, she discovers Thomas asleep, rendering her efforts futile. The following day, Pippa begins her morning routine in the new neighborhood and heads to work with her close friend Ari. During their conversation, Pippa reveals her observations of the neighbor's intimate moments the previous night. She works as an assistant to an ophthalmologist, aspiring to become a doctor, and receives a thoughtful gift from her senior, meant to bring joy and happiness to her new home. Returning home, Pippa finds a beautiful drawing of Thomas on the blackboard, delighting in the thoughtful gesture. She installs the doctor's gift and reflects on the beauty of their lives and newfound friendships with the neighbors. However, as Pippa and Thomas continue to navigate their new life, they begin to realize that something is amiss. Pippa and Thomas become aware of a troubling situation when they notice their neighbor choking. Despite their attempts to convey the urgency to his wife, she misunderstands. Pippa urges Thomas to intervene, but just as he rushes to their aid, the wife manages to save her husband, leading to a heartfelt kiss that reassures Pippa and Thomas of his well-being. In the midst of a sleepless night, Pippa seeks solace in the kitchen for a drink, only to once again be captivated by the activity across the street. She observes the neighbor bidding farewell to his wife before her trip, becoming entranced by the allure of his charm. However, her reverie is shattered when a glass breaks upon catching his gaze. The following day, Thomas, working in music production for commercials, becomes intrigued by the neighbor's actions. He notices the neighbor, a photographer of models, engaging intimately with one of them in his wife's absence. This prompts Pippa, after work, to purchase a hunting camera, intensifying their scrutiny of the neighbor's behavior. They discover his plan to invite the same person from earlier for a photo shoot and drinks, leading to an unexpected and creative turn of events in their own intimate life. In the quiet of the night, Pippa, unable to sleep, surreptitiously observes her neighbor once more. The neighbor's wife returns from her trip, reuniting with her husband. Pippa discerns a profound connection between them. The next day, during a gathering with friends, Pippa shares the incident, and in conversation with Thomas's sister, she learns of Thomas's past expertise in extracting sound from enclosed spaces using a long-range microphone. Pippa becomes intrigued. At home, Thomas explains the technique, emphasizing the use of vibrations and glass reflection from the neighbor's window. Despite the need for a mirror to reflect sound lines, initial attempts prove unsuccessful. Undeterred, Pippa resolves to attend a party at their neighbor's house with Thomas anonymously, intending to install a sound reflecting device. Upon entering, Sebastian, their neighbor, playfully takes Pippa to the photo shoot stage, instructing Thomas to capture a picture. After the shoot, Sebastian departs without uttering a word. During a moment of waiting, Thomas discovers Sebastian's infidelity again. Seizing the distraction, Pippa and Thomas discreetly install a mirror behind a statue before departing. Back home, Thomas directs a laser light onto the mirror with Pippa's assistance, successfully capturing the reflected laser light to eavesdrop on the couple's conversation. Juliet has discovered Sebastian's unfaithfulness, leading to a heated argument. Sebastian, fatigued by their recurring disputes, expresses a desire to end the relationship and humiliates Juliet, causing her glasses to shatter. The following day at the ophthalmologist's office, Pippa encounters Juliet seeking new glasses. During the eye test, Pippa navigates the delicate situation, ensuring Julia's eyes are healthy. Following the test, as they choose glasses, Pippa and Julia bond, leading to an invitation to spend the weekend together at a sauna and hot water pool, which Pippa accepts. Meanwhile, Thomas, engrossed in his advertising project, becomes curious about Sebastian's interactions with his photography model. Using the microphone, he discovers Sebastian attempting to seduce the model, eventually succeeding with promises of extra money. Pippa shares the events at the office with Thomas, expressing concern about Julia's unhealthy relationship. Despite Pippa's plea to inform Julia, Thomas insists it's not their concern and urges Pippa to focus on their relationship. When Thomas asks Pippa to cancel her date with Julia, she refuses, causing a rift between them. Disheartened, Thomas leaves the house, citing a need to buy a drink. The weekend arrives and Pippa accompanies Julia to the Santa Club, aiming to indirectly gauge her feelings and avoid a relationship marred by betrayal. During their conversation, Julia expresses deep gratitude to her husband Sebastian, attributing her success to him. She praises Sebastian as a successful and trustworthy professional. Pippa, silently contemplating, bids farewell to Julia outside the sauna club, setting the stage for a complicated situation. Now, fully immersed in the lives of Julia and Sebastian, Pippa becomes a constant observer, meticulously spying on Sebastian's unhealthy relationships. One night, she sets up listening devices and, realizing Julia is awake, connects to the printer through Thomas's computer. Pippa anonymously reveals Sebastian's betrayal to Julia, initially met with skepticism. However, Pippa provides convincing evidence, mentioning the used condom in the bathroom trash can. Amidst the chaos, Thomas discovers Pippa's interference and blames her, expressing his discontent. Undeterred, Pippa is resolute in scandalizing Sebastian. Julia, armed with a knife, confronts Sebastian in the presence of Pippa and Thomas. A panicked Thomas considers calling the police, but Pippa dissuades him, aware of the legal repercussions of their spying. Unable to go through with it, Julia leaves Sebastian's room. An enraged Thomas crushes Pippa's camera and retreats to the bedroom. The next day, Thomas confronts Pippa, urging her to cease her spying activities. Pippa promises, and they reconcile, but an unsettling feeling lingers. Tragically, Pippa learns that Julia has taken her own life. Devastated, Thomas blames Pippa for the tragic outcome and decides to end their relationship, leaving Pippa alone. As she sleeps alone, Pippa stumbles upon Julia's glasses while delivering ready-made glasses to customers. Filled with resentment, she records a message about delivering Julia's new glasses. Weeks later, Pippa observes Sebastian's deteriorating state after Julia's death. Attempting to assuage his conscience, she encounters Sebastian at a drinking establishment. Sympathizing with him, Pippa engages in conversation, providing comfort with her words. Sebastian invites Pippa to his house for drinks and suggests a photo shoot for his exhibition opening using his usual seductive techniques. Pippa reluctantly agrees, setting the stage for a complex and potentially dangerous encounter. After capturing several photos, Sebastian urges Pippa to undress, citing the need for better pictures and emphasizing his professionalism and trustworthiness. Using his old technique, Sebastian undresses first, and under his influence, Pippa follows suit. They engage in a passionate relationship, all while she remains unaware of Thomas's actions. Meanwhile, Thomas, carrying a bouquet of flowers, arrives at their home to find Pippa missing. In his search, he notices a new presence in Sebastian's house and realizes Pippa's infidelity upon seeing them together with a camera. The next day, Pippa wakes up in Sebastian's arms only to return home and discover Thomas has hanged himself, leaving her devastated and feeling responsible for the tragic events. In the aftermath, Pippa mourns Thomas's loss for an extended period, leading a sorrowful life burdened by guilt. Eventually, she stumbles upon a poster for Sebastian's opening ceremony and decides to attend with Ariana. At the ceremony, Sebastian expresses gratitude for her presence, discussing his new project and inviting Julia, who surprisingly appears healthy. The revelation unfolds that the project is centered around Pippa and Thomas, portraying them as illegal spies whose cameras recorded every move in Sebastian's house. Julia narrates the entire story of Pippa's life to the audience, blaming her actions as the primary cause of Thomas's death. Pippa realizes the elaborate scheme and exploitation, quickly leaving the ceremony and heading to Sebastian's place. In the attic room, she discovers that Sebastian and Julia have meticulously recorded every moment of their presence in the house. Overwhelmed with grief, Pippa destroys all the recorded material and weeps. The next day, facing the consequences, Pippa packs up and prepares to leave Montreal, forced to evacuate her home. After pouring the drink into the bird's water tank, Pippa discovers several dead birds under the window. Moments later, she encounters Julia, bidding farewell as Sebastian and Julia discuss their concept for the second season of a photo gallery, featuring neighbors who spy on each other, portraying different roles each season. Towards the end of the interview, Sebastian exhibits nervous behavior and hastily leaves the magazine office with Julia, taking along a gift from their fans. Following a drink at home, Sebastian and Julia discuss Sebastian's guilt. When Sebastian questions Julia about her lack of shame, she denies responsibility for Thomas's death, placing blame on the person who humiliated them at the ceremony. As they converse, the printer starts producing paper, and Pippa communicates with them, asserting her knowledge and certainty that Thomas did not commit suicide. Instead, they murdered him. Sebastian and Julia, realizing Pippa's presence, pursue her to prevent her from revealing the truth. Pippa seeks refuge at her workplace but fails to keep them out. In a confrontation, she reveals her awareness that Julia poisoned Thomas, making the crime appear as suicide. Despite Julia attempting to feign innocence, she suddenly faints. Pippa informs Sebastian that the drink was her gift, poisoned to expose them, and requests him to gaze at her face for the last time. Taking charge, Pippa leads them under ophthalmic equipment, intentionally blinding them to sabotage their next project and prevent them from ruining someone else's life. In a final act of retribution, she ensures they miss their next endeavor. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and ring that notification bell to stay updated. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, take care and stay awesome.